This is my beloved Son. Listen to him. The voice of the Father spoke at the time of the Transfiguration. Listen to God. All your worries will be answered. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, welcome to today's Gospel Reflection with Father Anand. Today, 6th August 2026, the Holy Mother Church celebrates the solemnity, the feast of the Transfiguration of the Lord. The Gospel is taken from Gospel of Matthew, chapter 17, verses 1 to 9. At that time, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John, his brother, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like sun, and his clothes became white as light. And behold, there appeared to them Moses and Elijah talking with him. And Peter said to Jesus, Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. He was still speaking when, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. When the disciples heard this, they fell on their faces and were terrified. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, Rise and have no fear. And when they lifted up their eyes, they saw no one but Jesus only. And as they were coming down the mountain, Jesus commanded them, Tell no one the vision until the Son of Man is raised from the dead. The Gospel of the Lord. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, at the time of the Transfiguration, God the Father spoke to Jesus in the presence of his disciples, saying, This is my beloved Son, I am well pleased with him, and listen to him. Dear friends, I would like you to concentrate on the phrase, listen to him. Well, in this modern world where everything is noisy, we don't listen to people. We just want to talk, tell our proposals, and tell about our own opinions, tell about our own selves. But the art of listening to oneself, listening to the other, above all, listening to God is greatest thing that can happen to any one of us. Let me tell you with an example. There was a man called Benjamin, and every day he would go to the church after his office hours, sit at the last bench, and then he keeps on telling his worries to the Lord. And finally, once he completes narrating his worries and problems, he says loudly, Lord, are you listening to me? And then he moves. This happens every day. After his office, he goes to church, he speaks a lot, and then finally he adds saying, Lord, are you listening to me? Listening to my worries? And then he goes. On a particular day, he was literally tired. He was worn out, but still he went to the church. He sat at the last bench, but that day he couldn't utter anything because of his tiredness. And he sat quietly. Then the voice of the Lord spoke to him. The Lord spoke to him, and he started answering all the questions he had been asking for so many years. Then the man got angry at the Lord and saying, Then Lord, why did you not tell me the answers when I had problems? And why are you telling me now? Then the Lord said, I wanted to tell you that time itself, but you didn't give time for me to speak. You just kept on speaking. You never listened to the answers. Dear friends, that's what happens to all of us in this modern world. Modern world is noisy, and everyone wants to make noise, make ourselves public figures by promulgating our own ideas, telling about our own selves, and promoting our own selves, keeping on speaking. But when we stop speaking and try to listen to God, listen to the other, listen to yourself, miracles happen in our life. Well, Today, Heavenly Father tells, listen to him. The word is addressed to the three disciples who were there. But what were they supposed to listen? They were supposed to listen the personality of Jesus, supposed to listen to his words, supposed to listen to all that he did. At that instant, there were Elijah and Moses. These two represent Torah and the prophets. In one sentence, they both represented the entire Old Testament. And Jesus has the entire Old Testament with him. He understands, he can explain, and he gives that to every faithful. But when the Lord tells listen to him, implies Jesus is the one who is the fulfillment of the Old Testament, and that's what you're supposed to listen to him. The disciples were told, listen to him, you will find answers for all your things. So dear friends, on this feast day of the Transfiguration, let's ask the Lord the gift of listening, the art of listening, so that we listen more and speak less. Wise people know when to speak and when to keep quiet, when to listen, when to raise voice. Let's ask today that wisdom so that we keep listening more to the Lord, so that our answers, our difficulties will be given an answer. May the transfigured Lord help all of us to have this art and bless us all. Have a wonderful day ahead.